Mr. Lim Biow Chuan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sir, I declare my interest in speaking on this topic as the President of the Consumers Association of Singapore. 2 years ago, during the COS debate on consumer protection, I spoke on the need to ensure that consumers are protected when making purchase transactions online. Our research shows that there are several companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Shopee, which provide for an arbitration clause in their online standard terms and conditions. This means that consumers who buy online would have to agree to the arbitration clause when transacting with these companies. These consumers will have no negotiating power to ask for the arbitration clause to be removed. For many of these consumers, their transaction values are usually of a quantum well within the limit of $10,000. If they have a dispute with the online vendor of the products which cannot be solved through mediation, their usual recourse is to apply to the Small Claims Tribunal to adjudicate their dispute. However, when we checked with the Small Claims Tribunal, we were told that the Small Claims Tribunal will not hear claim by consumers because of the arbitration clause, unless both parties agree. Thus, consumers with small claims below $10,000 and who have disputes with the online companies, they are unable to seek redress through the Small Claims Tribunal because of the arbitration clause. So, for example, if a consumer buys a Surface laptop through the Microsoft website and for some reason they have a dispute, they would not be able to seek recourse through the SCT because of the arbitration clause. And likewise, if they were to shop at Shopee and buy a Nintendo set or a earpiece or another laptop, they also will not be able to seek redress through the SCT because of the arbitration clause. Now, in the second reading of the Small Claims Tribunal Bill in 1984, the then Second Minister for Law and Home Affairs, Professor S. Jayakumar, said, "The primary purpose of this bill is to provide for a speedy and inexpensive machinery to handle small claims arising from disputes between consumers and suppliers." I humbly submit that the rationale for the Small Claims Tribunal still holds true today and is valid. Now, since Minister for Law has said that the Small Claims Tribunal Act will be amended, I will urge MTI to work with the Ministry of Law to ensure that this jurisdiction of the Small Claims Tribunal cannot be ousted by arbitration clause if the value of the dispute is less than $10,000 or within the jurisdiction of the SCT. Otherwise, this will make a mockery of the rationale for the Small Claims Tribunal. If the jurisdiction of the Small Claims Tribunal can be easily ousted simply by inserting an arbitration clause. It is also timely for MTI to review the entire framework and to consider more legislation to provide protection for consumers in respect of online transactions. There have been several media reports which suggest that more and more consumers are buying online. However, in the online transaction, consumers are all disadvantaged because of the lack of bargaining power in negotiating the standard terms and conditions of trade. For example, we understand that it is common for low-cost carriers operating out of Singapore to use pre-ticked boxes when transacting with consumers. And a recent case in mind involving a premium carrier is that of SIA, which had a pre-ticked box for auto-inclusion of travel insurance. In the European Union, companies cannot infer consumers' consent for additional payments by using such pre-ticked boxes and must obtain the express consent of consumers. So I urge MTI to consider similar subsidiary legislation to the same effect. Thank you.